guys, it's me, Julian Greystoke. We're gonna do a little bit of a weird video today. You guys know that I mostly talk about books and writing and writerly things, but occasionally I take a little break from that to talk about animals. Because I'm a big ol' animal lover and I have a lot of pets, and I also enjoy watching other YouTubers who talk about animals. And I saw someone I like to watch doing a video about pets they don't want to have, and I thought that would be really interesting because the list of pets that I do want to have is long and extensive and would take way too long to film. But let's look at some creatures I'm not looking to add to the family. Now let me be clear, just because I don't want to own any of these animals does not mean that I dislike any of these animals. In fact, I am a fan of all animals, and if I was to visit with any of these pets, I would have a good time. I just don't want to own them myself. So first on the list we have spiders, or really any kind of creepy crawly insect. I just don't have much interest in owning them. Part of that comes down to the fact that I prefer an animal that I can pet, and it's harder to pet one of them. I suppose you could pet a tarantula if you really wanted to, but they're sort of more of a tank pet. You can have them out sometimes, but that just doesn't really appeal to me in a companion. I am not bothered, nor am I afraid of spiders. I will pick up a spider with my bare hands to take it outside. Spiders and bugs don't bother me. I think they're adorable. I just don't want to have one as a pet for myself. The next one on the list is fish. I'm just not really interested in having fish. Again, they're the sort of companion that just kind of does its own thing in the background. They can be fairly labor intensive, and if you get it wrong, you accidentally kill them, and that's horrifying to me. I don't want to accidentally kill any of my new companions. So fish can be just a little bit too fiddly. Their tanks take up a lot of room if you're doing it right, and it's just more of a pet to sit and watch and sort of commune with in your space. And like I said, I prefer an animal that I can touch and pet and hold and hug. And for that reason, we also have turtles. I think turtles are adorable. They are the loveliest little pets, but just not for me. Now this is livestock as well as pets, but I'm counting it all together. I'm not really interested in owning cows. I love goats. I love horses. But cows have never hugely appealed to me. I think they're very cute. I love their little faces. Like, cows are so cute and precious, and I just want to pet all of the giant babies. But I also don't really want to own one. They're so big and they give so much milk or meat that it's just a lot to deal with, and I'd much rather have a smaller, more compact animal like a goat. I'm also not interested in llamas or alpacas. For a long time in my area, alpacas were in fashion, and I live out in the country, so everybody for a while just had alpacas. I don't really know why. They don't appeal to me for whatever reason. I think they're cute, from a distance. That's a cute alpaca or a cute llama. I just don't know why. I have no desire to own any of them. Maybe if I got to know them better, I would change my mind, but I haven't really known any llamas or alpacas personally, and they're just kind of I'll stick with goats. Next on my list is snakes and lizards. Now again, I'm not freaked out by them. I would love to come visit your pet snake and let it crawl around on my hands or drape over my neck or whatever. I just don't see it for myself. Again, because they are more tank pets. I know you can have your lizard out and sit on your shoulder, and they can be very personable and cute, but again, I'd be worried I'd fuck it up because they do need special, environments to suit them, usually. And also, they are more of an in-the-tank, sort of in-the-room with you kind of companion, and less of a actively cuddling with you or interacting with you type of companion. This is more of a range of types of animals I don't want to own. I'm not really interested in owning any exotic pets. Anything that is not domesticated, I'm not really interested in owning as a pet. I don't think that's fair. I don't like taking animals that are like wild animals and trying to make them my pet. Wolves hold no interest for me. I've never been one of those girls who's like, I want to own a wolf. Nope, not even a half wolf. Not interested. I don't want a squirrel. I don't want a raccoon. I don't want a fox. I would, however, secretly like a possum, but I know that's never going to happen. I just love them and think they are the cutest of the forbidden cats. But honestly, I would never probably own one. Or a skunk. Skunks are starting to be domesticated. I might go for a skunk. Again, probably never actually gonna happen. I don't want a monkey, I don't want a kangaroo, I don't want a tiger. No exotic pets for me, please. Leave them in the wild, please and thank you. This one is a maybe. I have owned this animal before, but I'm not super interested in getting it again, and that is rabbits. Possibly because the last rabbit I owned was a psychopath who hated me with every fiber of her being and wanted me dead. That might have been a factor. It was when I was younger and I was already taking care of my goats at the time and so many other animals, so maybe I just didn't have enough time to dedicate to my bunny, but she became a psychopath and wanted everyone dead, and I just kind of let her, like, I took care of all of her needs and let her do her own thing, so she wasn't really a cuddly friend that I could hang out with. She was just kind of like, give me my food, take care of my litter, and leave me alone, bitch. I was like, that's fair. You and me will be friends from afar. I don't know if I'd want to own a rabbit again. I love floppy-eared rabbits. The little loppy-eared ones, I've loved them since I was a kid. I've never owned one. I do sort of secretly want one desperately, but I know I would have to do research and learn how to properly socialize with a rabbit because I just don't know how to do it, clearly. I'm also not super interested in owning any of the super overbred designer dog breeds. I absolutely love dogs like pugs, but I don't really want to own one. They concern me. They always look like maybe they're suffering just a little bit because of their flat faces. They sound like they can't breathe sometimes, and I'm just like, oh honey. So I'm just not interested in perpetuating that designer dog overbreeding situation. I would much rather have just sort of a dog, you know? I'm a mutt person. Nothing against you if you want to own one of those, if you want to, you know, go to a reputable breeder, do your research, get a purebred dog, but I'm just not super interested in owning a purebred anything. It just doesn't need to be that to fit into my life, and some of the very overbred breeds just make me nervous and feel sorry for them, and I just don't really want to own one. I also have no interest in owning a miniature horse. I have worked with miniature horses. I trained one for some of our neighbors a while back, and she was lovely and very trainable and willing, but I want to own a horse so I can ride it, and you can't ride a miniature horse unless you're a very small person. You can teach them to pull a cart or something, teach them to do tricks, but to be honest with you, I just don't see the appeal. Why do you want tiny horse when you could have full-size horse? Like, why do you want a mini chocolate bar when you could have the full-size chocolate bar? Another creature that I'm not really interested in owning is sheep. I might own sheep someday, but I just don't see the appeal. Because I like goats. I'm a goat person of the two. Sheep are sweet, kinda dumb, and you have to shear them, and I'm just not really interested in wool in any capacity, so I'll just stick with my goats. And finally, the last on my list is a chinchilla. They are very cute. I like to look at them, but I don't really want to own one. They actually are kind of labor-intensive pets, and I just am not terribly interested. You have to socialize them properly, and sometimes their needs can be a little bit tougher to take care of, and I know they need a rather large cage, and it's just not for me. Just not for me. I think they're adorable. Don't really want one. Just one final animal to add to my list while I'm thinking of it as I edit. Actually, it's kind of two animals. I don't really have a lot of interest in hamsters or gerbils. I have had rats in the past, and if I was going to go with a short-lived pocket pet again, I would just go with more rats. Hamsters and gerbils seem lovely. They all have the same problem as rats. They're short-lived, and I just don't have much desire to research all of their special needs when I already know how to take care of rats, so I think I'll just stick with those if I get pocket pets again. So there you go, guys. That was my list of pets I do not want to own. There isn't a single animal on this planet that I don't like in some capacity. I am that meme where someone's like, that alligator is gonna bite your leg off, and I'm like, shut up, I want to pet it. You know, if I die trying to pet an alligator, that's how I die. But I just don't want to own one as a pet. So guys, comment below what animals you do or do not want to own as a pet. What is a very popular pet that you have absolutely no interest in owning? So that was my video for today. You guys probably know that I post new videos at least twice a week. If you want even more content than that, including lots of videos of my very cute pets being adorable, you can follow me over on Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you can get all of that exclusive content. You can also follow me on social media, links in the doobly-doo. If you would like to read a book that I wrote, you can find it on Amazon in Kindle paperback and audiobook, and there are horses in it, so if you're an animal lover, this one might be for you. And I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye!
Oh, hello! What brings you here to the end of the video? Is it patrons? I bet it's patrons. Patrons like Very Bad Books, Anna, Belle, Patrick, Anne Sophie, Callison, Ray, Artemis, Shelby, Zaire, Jesper, Irene, Scribbling Cat, Savvy, Jenny, Amanda, Lisa, and Sarah. Why, I can't think of a better reason that you would come to the end of this video. My patrons are awesome.
If I conferred with our furry friends, man to animal, think of the amazing repartee. If I could walk with the animals, talk with the animals, grunt and squeak and squawk with the animals, and they could talk with me.